Hey there, Michael Santiago here with Arising Co. Today we're going to focus on how do you get more leads for your pool business. And so when I say pool business, I'm not necessarily speaking about pool cleaning. You can certainly apply these things to pool cleaning. In fact, you can apply this to a lot of general contractor kind of services, whether you're an AC technician, electrician, etc. All of this works, but we're going to be diving into a little bit more of the specifics for a pool builder in particular. So our company, we run a marketing company for the last 5 years, serve a lot of faith-based business owners. But again, you don't have to be of the faith for this to apply to you. The main thing that for this to apply to you is just for you to go grab your notepad, like or whatever you do to store information, and just make sure that you have this checklist checked off, and that you're actively pursuing the things that we're going to talk about in this video. But we have served multiple different types of contractors, from door glass inserts to pool builders. In particular with the pool building, running marketing campaigns, running their website, and running some CRO, which is conversion rate optimization for their website. And so this helped them get up to 3 mil in business by the start of Q3. And would like to just share some of the things that we did to get them there, and think it'll help you out too. So without further ado, let's get started. And so I have this little notepad here. We're gonna write down some things for you to really just grasp. And so one of the first things that you really need to focus on if you want to get more leads and acquire more customers, it's going to be local SEO. Guys, this is something that's very vital. So SEO stands for search engine optimization. And when we talk about local, it just means how close is your business to the person that is searching for your services. And so let me give you an example. Let's say that I'm your customer and I have my phone and I'm on Google Maps or Bing or Apple, whatever, and I begin to search for pool builder near me or landscaper near me. That would be considered local SEO, because what happens is, whether it's Google Maps, right, Google will end up providing businesses closest to that customer. So very vital that you understand this. If you, let's say, are a pool builder, but you don't necessarily have a physical location for your business, and you don't have a Google business profile, it's gonna be one of the first things that you need to get, and that's free, guys. And so you can go to business.google.com and register a Google business profile, especially if you have a physical location for your company. How this will help you is in that illustration that I gave. If you were that person that's, Googling for pool builder, and they live, like, let's say, like they're searching this a few miles away from you, well, they will be able to actually find you, and Google will do you that service and put you on what it's called a map pack. When you go on Google and when you search that, try that right now, even go on an alternate tab or even on your phone and just say, on maps, pool services or pool builder near me, and it's going to give you what's called a local map pack. What are the ones that are closest to you? And based on Google's algorithms, they'll put certain ones above others, right? It's good to get high reviews, right? 4-star, 5-star reviews. Just get as many as you can so that it'll be in your favor. But that's the kind of thing that you guys need to be having, is that local SEO presence. We haven't even talked about website yet, but just get that Google business profile. And with the Google business profile, let's say that you don't have a physical location. You're like, Mike, all I do is, go to the client's place and etc. And then I just do that. Well, unfortunately, you're not going to benefit a lot from local SEO, because the problem is that if you have a Google business profile and you don't have a physical location attributed to your business, and instead it's called a service area business, anytime anyone searches for pool builder near me or etc., they're not going to find your business. Google is going to favor businesses that have a physical location closest to that person's current location. And so it will do you no service. And so oftentimes what I like to recommend is see if you can get your home listed. There's specific requirements there, but you just got to make sure that people would still be able to visit your home, right? Make sure you have like an office sectioned off showing your memorabilia, or memorabilia. I think more like your business decorum, all that stuff to show that, hey, I'm legitimately using my business office here in my home so that people can come and get consulting, etc., and do whatever. If you don't want to do your home because of privacy issues and concerns, you can just try to get into a co-working space. Co-working spaces are really great, not PO boxes. You do not want to do that. But if you get a co-working space, the benefit is that you can list usually co-working spaces as a business address, and then the verification process is pretty straightforward with Google Business Profile. They tend to be a little bit loose sometimes. Like sometimes I've seen people have success by just listing their home address without any kind of arduous verification process. Sometimes some people just had to get a letter in the mail and then get a code, and then you insert that code into that. But you're not going to get the best benefit of local SEO with a service area business. So you want to have a physical location. And if you just need to go rent an office or something like that and your budget permits it, then do that. But local SEO, so we're starting there. But why is that important? Just to summarize, again, people are constantly searching for these things, and Google is going to recommend, whether they're on Google, Bing, whatever other search engine. I mean, now ChatGPT, people will legitimately also ask like, hey, I need a luxury pool builder, or I need a XYZ in this particular region. Can you recommend me some? You want to have your business listed there. Now, physical location doesn't really matter in terms of the AI side. The AI has their own particular algorithm, and I've noticed that it gets different results, not just those that are listed on the local map pack. And so if you don't have a physical location for your business, you could very well be showing up on AI searches, which would be awesome for you. But in order to have that, you need to have what's next. And so what's next would be a website. And I don't mean just your typical, go to GoDaddy and get your GoDaddy website. What you need is a website that's going to impress. And what do I mean by that? Earlier in this video, I mentioned CRO, conversion rate optimization. That significantly impacts how leads are going to actually interact with you and hopefully convert into a customer. But they're not going to interact with you if a website looks like garbage. Nowadays, so many people, and I mean, I get it. So let me explain my thought process. I understand that some people's website just looks terrible, or maybe people don't really prioritize that because they're maybe getting a lot of business already. Maybe they're getting a lot of referrals. Maybe they found a great partnership. So I get that, and they're getting business, so they don't necessarily need to update their website. The problem with that is that you're not allowing room for another avenue, another bucket by which income and revenue comes through. So yes, you might be content with the amount of business that you're getting from this particular bucket, but what about the other bucket? Here, let me just draw it down here. So let's say, you're getting all kinds of cash money in this bucket of referrals. Let me see if you guys are seeing that. Okay, cool. And let's say that, this is the website, this is SEO, local SEO, and let's just leave this as blank for now. Let's say you have the local SEO, right? Let's say you have a physical location, so you're getting money. Referrals, you're getting money. But your website, very, very terrible. You know what? Let's just get rid of this one because we don't want to confuse you. So the issue that I see is that a lot of people, once you do the local SEO, they tend to stop and not do the website because they're content with people just, calling, price shopping, etc. By finding their business on the local SEO side. But the thing is that not every customer does that. Not every customer is going to only call around and price shop. They want to see substance. They want to see what you have. And so what they'll do is they'll see, do you have a website? Can I compare your website to your competitor? Can I see testimonials live on your website? I mean, granted, they'll see it on the Google reviews, but can they see project proofs? Like, can they see the photos and the videos of you actually working on the project? Well, can they be guided through the process that you have and you employ for your business of installing a pool or doing the landscaping around that area? Whatever that is, that's super vital to capture on your website. And what you see most of the time are just websites that kind of like illustrate a particular service, don't really have a lot of imagery, don't really have a lot of the case studies of showing finished projects or even the process of the build of a project. These things are super tantamount because people are going to look at your business profile, maybe go into your social media, which is another key aspect that we'll cover. But they're going to compare you to another one. They're going to compare apples to apples, and which one is the shiniest apple? Which one is the right fit for me? And the more information that you have there, the more that your website is professionally made, clean, organized, etc. Not only will you benefit from that, but you'll also benefit from general SEO. Now, general SEO is just, let's say I'm asking a question in relation to pool building. Maybe I want to know, like, what's a proper pool build calculator? Like, I want to know what are the typical costs associated with a pool construction. And so I'm going to go and put like pool cost calculator on Google. That, I think, the last searches that I did, because we were doing that for the company that we're serving, it was around like 500 searches a month in the US alone. And that's 500 unique visitors every single month. And that's just an estimate. It could be far more than that. But just imagine then that you had a page that really was a pool building calculator, but then you also made it function kind of like a advanced booking form. So instead of just calling you, like, invite your customer to this process of, hey, this is what we offer. These are the add-ons. These are the kind of pool models that we have. We do the concrete, or we do the fiberglass pools. You know, you could select a more custom type with the concrete, or maybe you can just pre-select an existing model of the fiberglass pool that we have. And then, you know, do you want to add lights, right? So you're taking this customer through this process, and then by the end of that process, they get to see, hey, here is a minimum, or here is a project range cost. You don't want to just give outright what that cost would be, but just give them a range, give them a minimum. And so with that, now all you have to do is just have a call to action. Is like, hey, how satisfied, well, not even how satisfied. I just go straight into it. You put your number, allow them to submit a contact form right then and there. Sometimes some people actually force people to submit their emails before they get to use the pool building calculator. You can try that. I personally prefer not to gatekeep certain things like that. Let them try it out. Let them taste and see that you're good. And then once they get to the end and the finish line, then you can have them submit an email and submit a genuine inquiry. Because I'd much rather have a genuine inquiry than to have someone that's forced to put an email and then they're sitting in our CRM and we're not doing anything about them. And so, based on all that I just said here, because I know I said a lot, you can always rewind and check it out. Web, if you don't put anything towards that, you are literally allowing money to escape from this bucket and go elsewhere. And I'm putting it, it's going to me. It's going to me. The arrow is pointing to me. So that money is going to me, but you should have that money. And so you want to make sure of that. Your website's got to be professional. Guys, don't do a Squarespace and Wix and stuff like that. You're essentially renting out your website for like ever, and the moment you stop making those payments and whatnot, you're gonna lose on SEO. You got to spend time building it. Like, have a professional build your website and structure it properly, because if it's not structured properly, you're not going to benefit a lot from the SEO aspect of the website. And every website builder and everything is going to tell you, hey, you know, we're good for SEO and we're good for this. The problem is that SEO is more nuanced. There is a whole lot of it. You can always go to our website, www.thearising.co. We have some blog articles there that explain some SEO things and just some advanced marketing tips that you guys could benefit from. So feel free to check that out. But you just want to make sure you don't really use website builders unless you're on like a super budget. If you're on a super budget, then sure, but still have a professional, I guess, design it while it's on that website builder. But eventually you'll want to use something like tried and true, like WordPress. Not WordPress.com, but more of a self-hosted WordPress solution. Maybe I'll dive into that more in my channel in the future. But yeah, so we talked about local SEO. We talked about having a good website. And the next thing that you really want to be doing is ads. And so the ads can come through Google Ads or through social media ads. In this case, we're just going to say meta ads. And this is super vital. So we got ads, we got Google ads, and we got meta ads. So when it comes to Google ads, this is much higher intent. So a lot of people with the money for your pool will be searching on Google. But this then means that you are going to spend more for every click that you get. So this is why I emphasize the website, because if your website is not built for conversions, and if your website is looking terrible, it's pointless to be running Google ads, because you're going to have people clicking on that, going to your website, not seeing the information that they want. You just spent $3 to $5 for that one click for your ad, and it's going nowhere. Why? Because your website was not properly optimized. And so again, when it comes to your website, you want to make sure that you're very intentional about laying out your services, everything structured properly. Again, have a professional do that. We are professionals, so reach out, and I have no shame in saying that, because I would love to serve you. But when it comes to meta ads, so these are a lot cheaper. So I'm just putting one little dollar sign for the meta ads. They're a lot cheaper for cost per click. The problem though with meta ads, what are they doing? They're scrolling. People are scrolling, and then all of a sudden they're seeing your ad, and they're like, "Oh snap, a pool! I need a pool. Let me click on it." And then they're like out, because what were they doing already? Oh wait, I wanted to check out this person's post. Let me go back. And so they're already distracted and scrolling. So the problem with the meta ads is that, and I see it all the time, because we run Google Analytics and other analytical software that shows exactly how long people are staying on your website and where are they coming from, so that way we can rightly assess the budget, make sure that we're investing in the proper marketing channels. But every single time without fail, meta ads has the lowest page engagement score and the lowest time that they stay on your website. And so I think last time I checked for a client of ours, meta ads was at about, I think, 10 to 12 seconds of people staying there, as opposed to a Google ad that was more than a minute. It was about a minute and 15 seconds to 2 minutes. And those are good numbers to have, in particular when it comes to like a Google ad. And for meta ad, that's actually better than most. Most is usually maybe like 5 to 6 seconds, and they're just out of there. But the strategy for the meta ads is completely different. You're not trying to do that just so that people can do business with you. Meta ads is more so to set up for retargeting. So retargeting just means that once someone lands on you, there's a special cookie that is stored on their computer. And so now you can retarget them through different ads, but maybe the ads show on a website page that they're on that shows an ad display. Or maybe it's on an app that they have, and then the ad is displaying on the app because the cookie is stored on their phone when they search your website via that Facebook ad. So retargeting is a very valuable thing, and so that's why meta ads are usually best coupled with retargeting. If you're only going to do meta ads alone, that's only good for brand awareness, and that's a completely different topic for another day. And so you want to make sure that ads, you have a properly optimized website before you pursue ads, just so that you can make the most out of your money. You don't want to be spending a whole lot of cash on ads, because a lot of times, especially with pool building, people are just price shopping. They're just trying to see, oh, which one has the lowest price. Unless, of course, you're more of a niche pool builder, and maybe you have like, you know, our pools normally range from 150,000 and up, right? Maybe you're like a full-on custom pool, as opposed to having an inventory of, you know, very cheap pools, and then you can do the construction anywhere from like 25,000 to 50,000, right? If you do that and you're more on the luxury side and whatnot, then you really want to make sure that everything is properly optimized to make sure that you get the sale. But even honestly, guys, like even if you have just massive inventory and you do much cheaper, you want to have everything pristine. In this day and age now, with AI helping people build things, build websites too, build all kinds of graphics and marketing material, which we didn't have before. Like before, you would have to go and pay someone. Now, oftentimes, Like I'm finding myself doing things that I would pay other people before, all because AI has made it available. And so if you're not taking advantage of AI, like go and take advantage of it. But that's me going elsewhere because I like to do that. And so what did we talk about so far? We talked about local SEO. Having a Google business profile is super vital. Bing has their equivalent too, but the thing is with Bing is that not a lot of people search on Bing, but you could have Bing. I think it's Bing Places, or just type in Bing Business. Again, it's such a small market share that I typically just do the Google one because all of our clients, they're all getting people from Google predominantly. So local SEO, having that Google business profile, making sure you have a properly optimized website, making sure that you then go and do ads and utilize it correctly. Google ads are higher intent people. Meta ads are more so for brand awareness and then setting it up for retargeting. And then lastly, social media. How are people gonna know what you offer if they don't know? But if you end up posting on social media, then it has to be the right channel that works for you. Because the problem is that so many people are like, well, Michael, where do I go? Do I post on X, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook? Do I go on TikTok, etc.? The best thing that I like to recommend people is to post on all of them and see which one gives you the most traction. Now, the thing for this is that for you to actually see which one gives you the most traction, you're going to have to build it into your contact forms. Like, let's say, hey, where do you hear from us, right? You're going to want to write that down there. Or you want to have the right marketing software that then tracks that for you. There are things like VBout, that's a lead tracking management system. There are, obviously, Google Analytics can tell you the source of people. But in terms of conversions, lead tracking management, whether that's in HubSpot, which is a little bit more pricier, VBout's very inexpensive. I find I use VBout for our clients, and it just works so effectively. And so what we can do with VBout is we can know immediately when someone converts into a contact form on our website, we're then able to actually see, when I say our website, our client's website or Pool Builder, we're able to see exactly where did they come from, what pages did they navigate through the website. And so this equips now the salesperson with the information and knowledge to know, oh, I saw that, you were frequenting our particular project page. What do you love about that page? And this now allows room for getting more customized in your solutions package because you kind of already know what the lead is wanting before actually having a conversation with them. And so VBout.com, that's a great lead tracking management tool. But yeah, social media, you guys got to be posting. There's definitely agencies out there that'll do it for you. The problem with the agencies is that there's so many out there, and like oftentimes I guess it just becomes such a commodity that like now people are just using like templated stuff as opposed to the genuine photos, like project photos and just like creative creations, if I can say. The problem that we saw before with like the pool builder that we're helping, the person that they hired for social media, they were paying like $1,700 a month or something along those lines, maybe a little bit more on a agreement of I think it was 6 months or a year. And the problem with that was that all they were doing was just using templated stuff, templated copy. I mean, honestly, they probably just pulled everything from AI and didn't do anything with it. And so what does that do though? That gives no value to your lead and prospect that's searching for your stuff on social media. No value. And so focus on things of value. Focus on things like, how can you increase your property value by installing the pool, right? That's a great question that needs an answer, and an answer from a pool builder mixed with some real estate agent knowledge would really help. And so now you might be able to build a pool for someone that's trying to sell their home at a higher value, all because you posted that kind of question and answer in a video format on social media. And that could be even on YouTube too. And with SEO, you can then take those things that you recorded a video for and then create a blog article for it on your website. And that might have a lot of people that are also searching for that question on Google. And then you can be getting unique traffic every single month. And the thing with SEO is that If you have, let me give you, out of speaking in examples. One of our clients has a blog from 2018. This is a blog article from 2018, 7 years ago. The moment of this video, this is, I think, what? It's August 18th right now, 2025. So in June of 2018, there's this blog. And that blog, since then, has given a consistent 200 to 300 people a month to this website for not 7 years. It was about for 5 years, because it took 2 years for it to then build up and then rank on Google. But can you imagine that? A blog that we wrote once, haven't updated it, is literally giving us 300 per month for the last 5 years. And that's 12 times 3, that's what, 3,600 per year times 5. So you're talking about over 18,000 people came to our website through one blog article that we wrote once. And that's the power of SEO. But again, SEO is contingent on how sound is the website, how fast, how optimized is the website. And so a lot of these things require this kind of omni-channel approach where like everything's just got to be optimized for you to get the best bang for your buck. But I thought I was going to be short with this video, but turns out this video demands a lot. And so I hope that helps you. Again, local SEO, optimized website, throwing up some ads, and making sure that your social media, you're just consistently posting on the channel that's giving you the most traction. And so I hope this helps you. Give us a comment if you have certain questions that need to be answered. But until then, hit like and subscribe if this has served you. Go to our company website, www.thearising.co. You can book a call with me, and so we can even go over your specific use case and problem and see if we can provide some solutions for you. But until then, God bless you. May you have great success with your business, and I hope to see you around in another one of my videos. Take care.